Hi, I'm Greg Pruitt with Idaho Dispatch. Over the last several months, we have released a number of articles regarding criminal allegations and inner turmoil in the Caldwell Police Department. In this series of videos, we sit down with someone who has direct knowledge of what is taking place. We want to make sure that our viewers understand that any allegations of criminal activity are just that, allegations. Everyone is innocent until proven guilty. The opinions and allegations of this individual do not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of those at the Idaho Dispatch. The individual that we sat down with has requested that their identity be concealed for their own safety. You have direct knowledge of what is happening inside the city of Caldwell's police department, correct?
I do.
Okay. This is obviously a story that the Idaho Dispatch broke back in early February, that the FBI was involved in investigating several officers, and we have been in contact with a number of sources and people with direct knowledge. And so we wanted to ask a few questions and talk to you about what is happening in the maybe the culture of the Caldwell Police Department, or is there, is it just a couple of bad apples and there's a lot of good ones, or is this a systemic issue that's taking place right now? And so, any questions that you were uncomfortable answering, we don't have to ask those questions or whatever. But I guess my first question to you would be, what, in your opinion, is the overall view that the people of Caldwell need to know about what is happening at the Caldwell Police Department?
The good old boy system is alive and well in the politics, from city council to the mayor, past and present, to the leadership of the Caldwell City Police Department.
Okay, so that's a lot of people, and you're saying that the former and current mayor, some members maybe of the city council, and the leadership within Caldwell PD have done what, or are part of what potential issue?
The system is set up. There's approximately 5 main businesses in the city of Caldwell that support the politics financially. Of course, finances play the largest part behind corruption. The city, the citizens, they really need to know that the current administration for the city of Caldwell, seats 4, 5, and 6, city council, and possibly some of the mayor's history is a little bit tainted from this investigation. Citizens need to know that they need an entirely new administration within the police department. Possibly some of them, the members of the Caldwell City Hall.
So you're talking about a lot of allegations potentially of dealing with city officials and police, because right now the only thing that the public has been told is that there are a couple of police officers who are or were under investigation, and only one of those has been named publicly and what they allegedly did. But you're talking about something much, much broader and deeper than just 2 people who did something, 5 or 6 years ago.
Yes, this is an ongoing problem with the city. The politicians that run the city, except with the new city council members. The old city council members from just a few years past. This investigation has been ongoing for approximately 2 years. The past mayor and city council member or members, they are well aware of this investigation. To what extent and details the FBI have released, I don't know that.
So what, I guess then, in your opinion, do you have direct knowledge of what has happened on that broad of a level? Have you witnessed some of those things, or is it things that somebody has told you? I mean, that's what the viewers are going to want to know, right? Does this individual have that direct of knowledge, or is it just like, hey, somebody told me something that somebody said, and now you're repeating it to us?
I have both direct knowledge and experience. I also have given statements to the FBI.
Okay. So when we talk about, let's kind of, I guess, we're going to go into one of the stories that we covered and kind of back up into this a little bit more. One of the individuals that is facing a federal charge is Lieutenant Joey Hale. And, the result of an incident, and this is all based on federal documents, which we'll put up on the screen here for folks to see, is a deprivation of rights charge from back in 2017. And all it says is that he struck an individual. And there's not many details on that. And so I think some people have looked at that and said, well, what's the big deal? He made a mistake, but it was way back in 2017. So what is all the hoopla about over what this investigation is? Because it's been ongoing for over a year, correct?
Yes, this investigation has been ongoing for almost 2 years. And the incident in which Lieutenant Hoadley is accused of, I am certain that there are more incidents, but for whatever reason, the feds are choosing to only charge for the one incident.
Okay. And so, that can happen for a variety of reasons. We don't know why, and hopefully the feds will tell us at some point everything that's kind of going on once their investigation is complete. So I guess what I'm getting at is we're going to take that one incident and look at the broader scope of what is taking place inside the City of Caldwell Police Department, right? And that's what your concern has been, is a much more broader level of alleged corruption or alleged cover-ups of those types of incidents. Is that kind of what you think has happened?
So, the corruption that I'm referring to is coming from nepotism, cronyism. They only want employees who support their ideologies. And to some degree, I can understand that. But when it has turned criminal, there's criminal allegations that the public has not heard about. That identifies a vast amount of turning a blind eye to the City of Caldwell's police departments, administration, the chief, the captain, both being best friends. Never would that be something that would be acceptable. The captain, who has some responsibility, has been to protect the chief having the idea to replace all the older officers with seniority with much younger officers. The average age now is between 23 and 24 years of age, and these are all new officers.
What, in your opinion, why replace these senior officers?
Because if you have new officers, the older ones, they won't be around to talk. They won't be able to acknowledge the destructive leadership that has taken place. I know that the chief and the captain, they've wanted to replace many of the veteran officers over the years, from 2016 on. Anyone who's been promoted needs to be reevaluated. Those promotions were based on friends of Frank, friendships. They go further than just the job itself.
You're talking about the police chief, Frank Wyant, and Captain Devin Riley. What is the goal, or why do you think that they have maybe turned a blind eye, and what you're saying is that they've turned a blind eye to some of the bad things that have happened? Are we talking criminal activity by police officers? And you don't have to name names or whatever, but what types of activities are they allegedly turning a blind eye to?
Well, you're seeing that now. They were well aware of the incident with Lieutenant Hoadley. They've had many opportunities to place him on administrative leave long before this became public. So, in retrospect, looking back over the years, there's been many more than I can count, more than other veteran officers could count.
Now, you're saying we're talking about kind of some detailed stuff here a little bit now. These are things that you have either witnessed or have direct knowledge of?
Yes, I have witnessed. I also have direct knowledge from officers who are part of the good old boy system. Commit various crimes from domestic abuse to, there's a lot of stuff I could talk about. It's just, I wouldn't even know where to start. And some of the information, if I gave it, would reveal who I am. And I do fear retaliation for speaking with you. So, if the public truly knew what was taking place, they would be fearful too. Probably shocked, their conscience shocked. And this all started when Bob Soba left. This all started with the police department. The politics have always been there, all 26 years of Garrett Nankless' existence as mayor. But when Bob Soba left as chief of the police for the city of Caldwell, that's when the crime and the downward spiral of the police department started. Chris Allgood and Frank White have destroyed that agency's reputation.
A lot of people who live in Caldwell, may disagree with, with that assessment and say, Caldwell used to be this well-known gang-infested town, extremely dangerous. It was the worst place to live if you were living in the Treasure Valley. So how do you respond to people that say, hey, it's been great here in Caldwell for quite a while now. We've gotten rid of the gang problem.
The current view of the police department from its citizens is what they see on Facebook and Instagram. In some public speeches or gatherings, I will say Frank Wyatt has a lot of charisma, and he's very good at drawing the public in to trust him. Unfortunately, when Facebook and Instagram and all the public gatherings go away, the leadership that the officers experience is not that of fun, enjoyment, professionalism. Behind closed doors, it's very miserable. Morale has been very low with veteran officers. It's been that way since Bob Sopa left. It's just gotten worse since Frank Wyatt became chief. There's a lot of window dressing to the charisma of Frank Wyatt. But what's behind that? And the truth, you will see. I trust the FBI will do a very thorough investigation, and the public will know eventually the dark leadership that has been leading the community police.